Hey guys, welcome to Dominion Wine and Beer's Wine and Beer of the Week. I'm the owner of Dominion Wine and Beer, Arash Tafakor. This week we decided to change it up a little bit. Instead of writing articles, once in a while we're going to do video interviews. I'm joined here with David Burks, our general manager, and your beermonger, Nick Anderson, who took his talents to Port City. I want to quickly say, Nick, thank you so much for all you've done for the craft beer industry in Northern Virginia. I think your articles at arlingtonnow.com really brought a lot of knowledge to everyday beer customers, and it's just been great. And thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so now Nick, after doing that, after working in the retail side, took his talents to Port City Brewing Company in Alexandria, which, as many of you know, just won the GABF Small Brewery of the Year. So, Nick, what's that been like for business?
It's been a busy couple months,
I'm
definitely.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely signed up at the right time. I actually started with the brewery back in March and had a very busy summer going into the fall. I expected to be busy in September and October, but going to my first GABF and picking up 3 medals and small brewing company.
I'm sure that was a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely filled up my calendar a little bit.
What made you decide to get out of the retail side of the business and into the?
And how's the transition?
Yeah, how's that transition?
I mean, nothing necessarily made me. I had been kind of looking around, seeing what was out there, what the possibilities might be.
Cool.
I looked at a few different options, and Port City's a brewery. I've known Bill and Jason over there for a long time, before there even was a brewery. And when I saw the position open up, I basically just scrambled and did everything I could to make sure I got at least considered for it, because it's one of the breweries that, in my mind, I'd already decided I would leave this job to go work for this company.
Was it because you were a fan of how the company operated, a fan of the beer, or just everything in general?
Yes, I mean, it's people I know,
Yeah.
and also the lineup is one that, with our 5 year-round beers, that's stuff that I can take anywhere. I
Yeah.
can show to anybody, and that people get into and understand. And
Yeah, I feel like
share.
Port City beers, like their portfolio, will stand the test of time. I mean, there's nothing too esoteric, weird, or crazy. It's just incredibly dialed in, well balanced beers, approachable, but also interesting enough to with some of the more limited beers that you guys put out, for the beer geeks, that something a little more interesting. You have something for them too.
We're trying.
Yeah.
I want to add in when Port City was founded in 2008.
We opened in 2011.
2011, but when you guys were first starting out, was the middle of the recession.
Mm-hmm.
And as an outsider looking in, I was like, oh wow, you guys even got the small business loan from a federal loan to get started. And it was a big risk. And obviously, you guys are here to stay. I mean, you're winning awards, you're producing great beer. It's just very impressive what you guys have done. You want to talk about your lineup and what you have to offer? And we actually have a growler of something special that we're going to open up and taste.
Yeah, Dave, you want to
Yeah,
pour
absolutely.
some of the growler here?
So
What Dave's got in the growler here is a beer called Long Black Veil. This is our black IPA. It's only the second year we've produced it. Produce it pretty much so it comes out every October now. It's going to be kind of our Halloween beer. Very dark, but has a nice punchy hop character to it. The name actually comes from kind of classic Alexandria ghost story, myth, legend of the female stranger who arrived with her husband in the country, landed at Gadsby's Tavern. She was very sick. Nobody was allowed to see her except one doctor, and she wore a black dress, long black veil, and was there for about 4 days and died, and is actually in one of the cemeteries in Old Town, buried under a tombstone that says the female stranger on it. That's where Long Black Veil kind of took its name from, and we've done the release both years at Gadsby's Tavern on the anniversary.
Speaking of interesting names, you want to talk about? Where'd you get the name Beermonger from?
Oh yeah, that actually comes not from my last job, but from the old Rick's Wine and Gourmet in Alexandria.
Okay.
I was the beer buyer over there starting in about 2007. I was there for about 2.5, close to 3 years. And when I'd started on, my boss at the time asked me what I wanted as my title on my business cards, and I was kind of being a bit of a smartass, and I said put Beermonger on it, and she did, and the name kind of stuck.
Are they going to put that on your tombstone, the Beermonger?
I really
Would-
hope not,
would-
but I'm not going to have any control over that at that point. So.
Before we start talking about Long Black Belt, you want to
Yeah.
talk about Tidings, like
Yeah, of course.
those release?
No, Tidings is our winter seasonal beer. It's just hitting retailer shelves this week. You guys just picked up your first run. Second week in November, just so we can place this in time here. But it should be available through the rest of the year. This and our Oktoberfest are probably our biggest seasonals.
Oktoberfest was awesome.
It was really good this year.
One of the best
The
out.
Tidings we kind of look at as almost like a big brother to the Optimal Wit, which is our best-selling beer. It's another Belgian-style ale. It's a little stronger, where the Optimal Wit comes in just under 5%. Tidings comes in a little around 8%. So kind of a stronger Belgian blonde. Uses a lot of the same spices you would find in the Optimal Wit. We use the coriander and grains of paradise in here as well as the wit. The same Virginia sourced wheat. We actually have a source that lets us use Virginia grown wheat year round. Some wildflower honey we get from Maryland. And,
So just local ingredients.
yeah, and fresh ginger, and that's the big one that pops out for me with this beer.
Speaking of Optimal Wit, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool to be able to drink a can of Optimal Wit at a Redskins game this
Oh,
year.
yeah, I couldn't think. It was a beer in the summer. Like,
Yeah.
it
That,
was.
yeah, the can run of Optimal Wit went over really, really well.
One more thing I want to mention, Metro Red. That was an awesome beer too.
Absolutely.
That was Adam Reza. That was one of his recipes, and we decided to do a batch for DC Beer Week to put out at some of the events, and the response was incredible.
I mean, leading up to the GABF, I mean, you guys were just putting awesome beer after great beer after great beer.
Yeah.
And you guys are very well deserved. That being said, let's toast to Long Black.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Do you want to explain to us what it exactly is?
So you're looking at, like I said, black IPA, or if you're a super beer nerd, a Cascadian Dark Ale. I hear that one sometimes. Black IPA. The idea being a dark, malty, roasty beer that has some of the hop-forward characteristics of a traditional IPA. To that end, we
Real rich mouthfeel to it, though. Like,
yeah,
incredibly easy to
we
drink.
use a little of our Magnum Citrus Centennial hops usually in the beer. Comes in just under 7%, usually clocks in around 6.8. So it's a little bolder, a little richer than, say, like the Monumental IPA or year-round. But you get all those great roasty, malty notes. You get all the hop forward, the piney.
I feel like that style of beer is a bit underserved in the industry.
Yeah. I mean,
but
because
this is a
either,
great
either it's
example.
good or it's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
definitely
few
good.
really, really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
ones out there. And even before I came on, I was a big fan of this beer. This was one of my favorite black IPAs. So it's nice to be able to get out and sell it.
Sell it. Yeah.
Well, let's
I
cheers
agree.
to that. And
Mhm.
thank
Yeah.
you so much, Nick, for joining us.
Anytime.
Thank you, guys.
Yo, that was that might be the best video you guys ever did. No shit. That was real good, Nick.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, man.